Hello my friends. The goal for the day is to just completely get the Evo 8 interior wrapped up. I put a nice lens on my camera. It's appearing a little bit heavier than the old lens, so I apologize if it's a bit floppy, but I want to get the complete Evo 8 interior finished up today. So right now I'm gonna head in, grab the locks for the door handles, and then I took a brief look at our DIY janky paint job on the door handles this morning, and they look pretty good. So we'll see how they actually turned out. I have found the one downside to having a hood dump. At least on pump gas, there's a bit of exhaust soot that gets on the windshield. I don't think it's gonna be a problem on ethanol, which this car's gonna be living on ethanol. But pump gas definitely gets the windshield a bit dirty. Only on the passenger side, thankfully. I can still see just fine out of my side. On the way back from getting the door locks, I swung by my buddy Brian's place. We set up what is called rotational idle on the Honda. I would like you guys to listen, because it sounds amazing. If you ask me, rotational idle made this car. No, let's backtrack. The hood dump made the car 10 times better. Rotational idle made it another 10 times better. So it's 20 times better than what it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I freaking love this Type R. But let's get back to work on the Evo. Here are all of the parts and pieces that we painted last night. You guys might notice it's a little bit funny looking right there. I masked all that off, and the reason for it is because last time when we painted the car, the paint buildup didn't allow for smooth pivoting action, so I did have to sand all that down. Let's do a quick test. So this is our right-hand side. Let's slap her up on the door. Of course, the car's very dirty right now, but I'm just curious, you know? Do we have enough paint on here? There we freaking go. That is what I'm after. Much better. Let's get the mirror reassembled first. Now I do still need a new glass. I'm hoping a Lancer is the same, so I can just go to the the wrecking yard and snag a Lancer mirror for a couple bucks, and we'll be on our way. But we can always get the glass swap later. Not a big deal whatsoever. Another thing that was a little bit funny on this mirror that I fixed was the inside was way too light on the paint as well. Now way down here doesn't really matter, but on the edge it is very visible when the glass is in. So I did go ahead and get that fixed as well. Surprisingly enough, there's not a whole lot of dirt in these parts either. There's maybe one little speck on the mirror right there, which that'll be easy. Door handles, of course, you don't want to be sitting there cutting and buffing your door handles. And thankfully, I don't see any dirt in the door handles. For now, just so I can drive the car, the broken glass can go back in. Now from the factory, the 3 bolts holding on the base, they are Loctited. So I'm going to toss a bit of blue back on there. Floppy mirrors are the worst. Okay. Tuck that wiring where it goes. For some reason there's a bit of electrical tape that they put on right here from factory as well, so I like to do that. And last thing is this wiring clip, which according to my photo from last night goes white, blue, green. There we go, boys. That is much, much better. That looks good. All right, let's move on to these door handles. So a couple things with these. Up first, don't forget the insert. So this has to go from the back side. Little plastic insert is installed. Now, one thing I did forget, last time I built these, are the rubber little grommets that go in here. So that was another reason I wanted to pull these back apart. A little bit of grease. This is just wheel bearing grease. Any sort of lube will probably work fine. I'm sure like a white lithium is probably proper. All 4 handles are complete, looking better than ever, and ready to go back on the car. Now that I was finally able to roll up the window as well, this thing can finally get its first wash since we painted the car. How exciting, huh? All right, door handle's on, door card is on for the first time. And before I put these interior plastics in, I'm gonna go through with some of the Cerakote trim coat, just because they're not all that nice right now, but coated, they look brand new again. This is one of my best kept secrets. I have a massive stash of this trim coat. So here is a non-coated piece versus a coated piece. All 4 door handles are installed. Waiting on that trim coat to fully cure up to get the interior complete. So in the meantime, thankfully there's only one nut on this mirror. I need to finish out the blackout that is supposed to go around the window. So first you want to get the surface area clean with IPA. And the wrap I'm using is 3M 2080 Satin Black. Now they make a couple different widths. I'll go ahead and leave this exact stuff down below. Of course it's way too wide, so I'm going to trim it down so we don't waste a bunch. I always like to start at the curved section first and then work my way up. Like that. Easy. The satin black is a perfect texture, perfect finish if you want the OEM spec. Trim right on the back side of the door so there's no yellow showing when there shouldn't be. So now, of course, they have to be 2 different pieces, just like how it is from the factory. We could have either laid these uprights first or the horizontal first. Either way, I don't think it really matters. You can make it look really nice and clean either way. But what's important is we're gonna see a line right here. So I do want that line to be completely straight. That's why there's a little bit of excess vinyl right here. Probably could use a ruler, but the Haltech guide works as well. Let's knock out the uprights. Now to make sure the line on the uprights is as straight as possible, I'm going to be using knifeless tape to make this cut instead of just freehanding it. All of the blackout around the windows are finished up. Door panels are complete. I did decide to change up this bezel. I think it's gonna look best, just a nice like semi-gloss or a flat black. It's the only silver on the dash, and I think it's just a little bit out of place. I decided to go with a nice and simple flat black SEM color coat. I love this paint. But first, being that I want this thing to look as good as possible, let's do our due diligence of wax and grease removing it. While we wait on the paint for that radio bezel to dry, let's go ahead and get the HVAC in. Before I put this in, They have an updated gear set. Now this gear set goes on the heater core. Well, they call it a lever set. Here's the part number. But I'm pretty sure it's an updated part from 2003. The 03 ones, they're a bit crusty. So for about $25, you can make your climate control, the knobs, these guys here, a whole lot better. Now if they don't spin freely, well, this guy's off the car, you should probably replace the cables. So if you come under the dash, there's all the pedals. Take a peek up in there. There's a screw for that one, a screw for that one. Let's get those guys removed. Here's the difference, new versus old. New gear set is installed. They're not really moving all that freely. I'm worried something internally in the heater core is messed up. Let's hope that is not the case. I'm gonna go ahead, get everything else installed and see how it feels. So with the doubled in, the climate control gets relocated down here. You do have to cut one of the brackets on the back side. We've already done that. So, should be good. I was dreading this. That works fine. That works fine. The heat side though, the temperature side, something is going on with the climate or the heater core. Maybe a little valve or a flopper in there is messed up. So one of these days the whole dash has to come back out and we got to pull that guy right there. We got to pull that out and either replace it or repair it. But not today, because that is a lot of work. Bezel is all complete. Let's get the radio screwed back in place and see if we made the right call, which I believe we did. That is super clean. I'm glad I did the flat black. Kind of breaks up from all the carbon fiber we got going on. We got carbon here, we got carbon here. These two pieces, that and that, we're either gonna go black or silver. I think black was the right call. That is super clean. There's one last component on the interior that I want to change. Chilling here, that guy's carbon, that side is gray. I like the fact that it has a lot of OEM gray still in here. And I did debate doing like the headliner in suede, some of the pillar, all of the pillars in carbon fiber, just completely black out the interior. But I feel like that would be too much black. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to replace this guy with a carbon pillar from AZA. Same company that did the rest of my carbon goodies. So I know it's gonna match perfectly. There we have it. That's complete. That is a complete interior, my friends. So here's a complete look. We have the carbon steering wheel, carbon there, carbon around the cluster, carbon there like the factory 9, carbon center console with a WK shifter, carbon, carbon, SSL seats, a sunroof that I think still works. Let's confirm. This makes me want to go cruise the car just to open the sunroof. Of course, the very nice eye-doing head unit, and that's pretty much it. SSL door panels, of course. Finally found a good, pretty much brand new set of OEM 8 floor mats, and that is complete. That is a wrap. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Got a lot of random miscellaneous things finished up on the 8 project, and I'm excited to move on, move forward, and get this thing 100% complete. It really needs a cut and buff. I've been really putting that off, but I might start that soon. It's just a lot of work. I'm not scared of work, but it's tedious work, you know? You gotta be careful to not burn through. Goodbye.